Hey y'all, what's good? Welcome to my podcast. It's called Talks with Darius Deon, and I'm so glad you're tuning in. I'm finally getting this thing started. I've been so excited about this. I honestly have been thinking about this since the very beginning of the pandemic because I love to talk so much. I might be shy at first, but once you get to know me, I'm always talking and I might just talk your ear off. But really, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Darius Deon Freeman. I am 22 years old. I'm an acting major right now in my last semester in college. And honestly, it's crazy. Like everything that I'm going through is just preparing me for what I'm gonna face in the real world. And I'm just so glad I'm back and rooted in having God first in my life. Because at the beginning of this pandemic, I can say that where I am now and who I am is not who I was. And I'm just so glad that through this pandemic, God has still worked and done a new thing in my life. And so basically, yeah. Let's see. I'm just going to just tell y'all what it is and tell y'all about my podcast. So what I'm going to be doing on my podcast is talking about everyday life. My life, what I'm doing in college, friendships. I'm going to be interviewing people and just bringing in people that don't even believe in the same things or have the same point of view as me so we can all get a better understanding. I just really want to communicate and talk more. That's what I feel like this world needs at the moment because all we do is argue and fight. There's no communication, there's no understanding, there's no love, there's no compassion. And that's what I stand for and that's what I want to bring. And so yeah, through this pandemic, we saw the Black Lives Matter movement happen. We saw white supremacists come out. We saw people storm the Capitol. We saw so many things happen that were just ridiculous and honestly just heartbreaking. I even lost 2 friends because of everything that happened, and I saw people's true colors come out. And you see all these celebrities get on the internet, and all they do is spew out just like negativity and hate. You even see the president, well, who was our president, just spew out all of this hate, which was honestly ridiculous. Like, how can you have so many leaders in this world? God has placed y'all in all these positions, and all you want to do is spew out negativity. You have so many kids that look up to you, that want to be like you, so many parents, even adults, that want to be like certain people, and they follow all the things that they see on social media and portrayed on the television, and they think that it's okay. And all the children growing up in today's world, it's just like ridiculous because that's all they're seeing. They have no real role models that are shedding light, shedding love, shedding peace around. Like everybody should be as one. Everybody should work as one unit so we can change this world, so we can become a better place. And that's why I decided to start this podcast. I want to stand for something, stand for love, stand for peace. And whoever's on my side that wants to do that, that's what I'm going to do. And so I've created so many episodes, bringing on my friends, bringing on colleagues, bringing on my family, showing y'all that just conversations can be the start of something new, the start of change. And so Darius Deon Freeman stands for change and he stands for love. And I just want to be a light. I went to this service. I do work at a Life Church now. I'm a worship leader, and I'm honestly just rooted in God. Honestly, I grew up in a church, Kojic, full gospel, everything, just clapping, doing everything, stomping, you know what I'm saying, speaking in tongues. But I've honestly I've worked in a Methodist church, and now I'm working in Life Church, and I've been all over the place. But the one thing that everybody brings is the same love and compassion for God. And as I was sitting in Life Church, watching this sermon, this guy he was preaching and saying how I just need to be, like, basically saying that people need to stand up and be visible temples and vessels for God to use. And the way that this sermon came about, and he was talking about how this blind girl just came up with this big old plan to sing at Disney World, and he didn't want to believe her that he can get all these people out there just to praise God and sing worship on that stage, and they actually did. And he had to check himself in his faith and say that, no, if I have this platform and if I have all these things, I should believe and have as much faith as a mustard seed, like God says in his word, to just step out on faith and see what can happen. And he did. And they eventually worked with Disney World and were able to get all these people out there to worship God and to bring so many people closer to Christ and to save them. And it was just amazing. And so watching that sermon, I was just like, I don't know. I feel like I have such an impact on the people around me, or I feel like they look up to me, that if I'm going to watch them look up to me, I'm going to do it in a good way. I'm going to lead by example, lead with the right positive attitude, with the right mindset, and with the right values. And the values that I have right now, even in my fraternity, is honor, respect, personal courage, integrity, service, and stewardship. And there's two more, but I can't think of them right now because I'm really just talking to y'all. But basically what I wanted to say is, I don't know, I want to be changed. We have so many people in this world that don't stand for anything, but I want to stand for something. And that's why I'm pushing this podcast. That's when I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and just stepping out on faith. And I mean, it was in my spirit. It's been in my spirit. And I've been pushing it off, telling myself, oh, it's not going to work, trying to just give myself all these excuses. But this is just me even telling you, step out on faith and do something out of your comfort zone, because you might end up loving it. And I'm honestly loving doing this podcast. And being a light is what I want to be. I want to be able to show kids that you can do anything that you put your mind to. I've been through so much. As a kid, even though I was a pastor's child and everything looked like it was fine and dandy, I ended up being in foster care because I was abused. And that put so many mental and just issues in my mind, feeling like I wasn't enough, feeling like I wasn't worthy. I had anger issues. I was bipolar, lashing out on people. I didn't used to be compassionate. I thought I was just big and bad. I remember my teacher told me that one time we were doing a musical that I was acting like this freaking Broadway star that had this attitude. And just as I sit here today and as I think about where I am now, I'm just so grateful for God's grace and His mercy on my life. Because now I can sit here and I can tell people my testimony of how He saved me, of how He turned my whole life around. There's so many things that I want to tell y'all, and I will tell y'all as y'all keep following me along in this podcast. But I want to let you know that I'm just real, just like you. I'm going to give you the real. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be truthful. And I don't know. I'm just going to be loving. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be unapologetically me. And yeah, I just hope you stick around. I want you to know that you're worthy, you're enough. And that somebody's always out there looking out for you, guiding you and protecting you, and that's God. If anything, I just want to be an example. Be an example of what God can do in your life, how He can turn your whole life around in a matter of years, or in a matter of just a snap of a finger in an instant. But yeah, y'all, that's a little bit about me. This is just my first podcast, just to get me started, just to get me out there. But we will be doing a whole lot more because I have a whole lot because I have a whole lot in store. So I hope you stay tuned. I hope you stay ready, because it's going to be a crazy ride. We're going to talk about the riots. We're going to bring in people interviewing, talk about people's faith walks. And really why I actually did want to start this podcast before I ended is because I didn't really grow up with a father. And being raised up by a single parent, I don't know, that just took a toll on me. I always saw my friends and people have all these parents in their lives, two dads and a father coming to their games and doing all this stuff, and I missed out on some of the things, but my mom was that. And doing that, as I came to college, I just saw so many issues with just fraternity brothers, and them having father issues as well. And so what I want to do is bring on people and men that talk about what it's like growing up without a father, or what it's like even growing up without a parent, or with two parents, and just compare that. But there's going to be so many things. I just want to bring up these conversations, start change, start growth, and see how many people's lives I can affect, or whoever I bring on can affect as well. But I hope you stay tuned, and I hope you like me. I probably didn't go in detail about too much about me, but I will, and you will find out way more. So stay tuned. You stay blessed. Stay looking cute. I hope you're having a blessed year, even through this pandemic. Just hold on a little bit longer. God's got you. And yeah, I love you. If nobody told you today, I do love you. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is Talks with Darius Deon, and I'll catch you later. All right.